Hello and very good morning or afternoon or evening to you wherever you are watching from. You're welcome back to our channel, Al-Abraar Apple Farm Diary, the channel where we are documenting our journey through Wambugu apple farming in Nigeria, northern Nigeria to be specific. So in today's video, I just want to bring us an update on the apples, how they are doing, and to share some experiences that I have acquired growing these apples. So this is one of these apples. After I relocated them some close to 7 weeks now to this new location from the previous location, which I did a video about, they started settle down, and after about a week or two, began to show signs of new leaf growth. And you can see this particular apple tree, how well it is doing. See, the leaves are so green, and fresh leaves are even budding out of this side. So this is evidence of the fact that the apple is doing well. When the apple is doing well, you'll be seeing new leaves almost on weekly basis, and you also see that the height of the apple will be going up, to be increasing in height, and even the girth, the thickness of the trunk, will be increasing. So this is what I've been doing. I've been watering them twice a week, and each plant takes about 5 to 6 liters of water twice a week. And I applied manure while planting them, and I've been applying manure, but I have noticed something with the manure, the cow dung like this one. Most of them just remain clumped and never disintegrate. So lately I've started doing something, which is soaking them in water and leaving it for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then when it is well dissolved in the water, I then apply the water to the plants instead of pellets of cow dung, dry cow dung like this. So I think I found that the best way to give this nutrient is to dissolve it. And if you remember in my video on the different agri-ventures that can integrate with apple farming, I did talk about having a biodigester. So I don't have a biodigester yet, but I'm kind of soaking the cow dung in some container, plastic container, and allowing it to dissolve, and before applying it. So I think I'll show that container in this video. So this is one of the plants. I think I'll put the before video side by side of this plant so that you appreciate how much growth and development this particular plant has had in the past 6 or 7 weeks since it was relocated. And the plants are really growing, and anytime you come and see them growing, it gives you joy. And it really goes to show that we have our environment these apples can grow. So I'm just eager and waiting to see them get to the level of fruiting and all that. And we'll continue to share the journey with you. So this is another plant also. Also, this plant is doing well. You can see new leaves here. See new leaves. So if every week you're seeing new leaves, that's evidence of good growth. But the plant that is in dormancy will not grow new leaves. It will just remain intact. It might not die off, but it will not be growing new leaves. That shows that it's in dormancy. But once it is out of dormancy, it begins to grow new leaves. And the two main ingredients so far that I have found that these apples require for them to grow very well is manure and water. If you don't water them appropriately, they stop growing. They go into dormancy. So but once you have adequate manure and water, they'll be growing very well. This is another one. This one has not done very well. Okay, it has not done very well because the leaves are not as shiny as they should be. But then the tree is not dead, because you can still see a green this thing on the back. So in as much as it is still green, it shows that there's still life in the basin. It may just be in dormancy, and continue to water and give it manure, and it will eventually shed all these leaves and begin to sprout new leaves. Now this one is particularly interesting because this was the one that had the termite attack. This was the one that had the termite attack. If you have not watched my video on those termite attack, you can watch it. I'll link it up here. Okay, so this was the particular plant that had that termite attack, and following that it was doing well, but in the last 1 week I kind of traveled, so I was not around, so they didn't receive water for a whole week. And since then I have noticed a change in the leaf texture and everything of this plant. But the plant is still alive because you can still see a lot of green around it. This is the point of grafting here. This is the zion and this is the rootstock. Okay, so I will continue to nurse this plant and see, and I'm hoping that it will rejuvenate and begin to develop new leaves again. Okay, so let's see yet another plant. Okay, so see this one. This one was also in dormancy for quite a number of weeks, but lately in the last 1 to 2 weeks it has burst out of dormancy and it's now developing new leaves. You can see the leaves are so fresh and green. Okay, and even new ones are developing around here. Okay, and you can see that the trunk is also green. See the grafts, see where it is grafted. This is the zion part and this is the rootstock. Okay, so this one is doing well also, and just continue to water and give it manure. Now this is yet another plant. This one also kind of struggled for quite a bit before it picked up growth. So these plants, they can actually take some periods in dormancy, so don't be discouraged if you don't see them growing immediately. But now you can see that it has started growing. You can see new leaves, fresh leaves are budding out of here, and this is a sign that it's now gotten out of dormancy and it's now able to start its growth. Okay, so these are just some of the plants I decided to show you. I have some other ones that are also growing very well. Okay, now let me show you the cow dung. What I've been able to do, I've been able to make it more rich, available to the soil and to be able to penetrate, instead of leaving it as just dry dungs like this, dry dungs like this. So let me show you that. Okay, so this is the bucket in which I'm soaking the cow dung. You can see this one's, they're still pellety. Okay, so let's just soak them some few days ago. So every week I mix it like this so that it dissolves, and then after every 2 weeks I apply the water, the dissolved cow dung water, to the apples. I water them basically with this. This is, a kind of similar to the bioslurry that you get with after biodigestion using an anaerobic digester. But of course there is not much digestion going on here, and I'm also not trapping the methane gas, so it's not exactly the same procedure, but I found this to be a better way to apply manure than just pouring the manure straight on the ground, and most of it will just be dried and will never get into the soil. I've also seen people who pound or ground the cow dung into powder and then apply the powdery cow dung onto the soil and then water from there. I believe it will achieve basically the same thing, but I think this type of soaking in water gives it more distinct, because at the bottom you see very rich cow dung, very rich cow dung that easily goes down into the soil as soon as you apply it. So this is how preparing the manure. Then I cover it to just so thank you very much for watching this update video. Until I come away again with some other videos on how our Wambugu apples are doing in Zaria. Stay blessed and keep sharing the message of apple farming, and see you in the next video. Thank you.